In this section of our course, we're talking about customizing your build process. We're going to dive into section 4 of our course, talking about TFS and VSTS builds. In this particular section, we're going to focus on customizing your build process. So what will you learn? We have 3 sections in here, so it's not a big section of the course. Just 3 videos that we're going to talk to. We're going to do a lap around your build tasks, so an overview of all the different build tasks that are available. We're going to talk about using the build tasks to actually deploy an application. And then we're going to talk about extending the builds using PowerShell scripts. So there's a couple different ways we can do that. So join me as we dive into customizing your build process. In the first part of this section, we're going to talk about the available build tasks. So join us as we do a lap around those available build tasks. What will you learn? Well, we're going to talk about the built-in build tasks. So VSTS and TFS come with a host of built-in build tasks that you can take advantage of during your build process. You also have the marketplace, the Visual Studio Marketplace, that's available for both VSTS and for TFS. And you can find other tasks out there too that will help you facilitate your builds. So with that, let's talk about the built-in ones. Okay, they're organized by category. So you'll see in the image here, they're organized by build, utility, test, package, deploy, and tool. And you'll find a host of different items in there that are going to relate to your particular build. They're also cross-platform, so as you can tell, we can use Android, as you can see on the screen here, and we can do iOS, so we can do Xcode, Xamarin, we got Ant, Gradle, Make, Gulp. There's just various different options available, as well as your .NET options. So again, this is not strictly for Microsoft development tool. It's a cross-platform tool. You should be able to build any platform using VSTS or TFS. You shouldn't have to worry or decide, do I need a different tool? It covers the whole range of available platforms. If you don't find something in your list of items, then you can actually go out to the marketplace. And the Visual Studio Marketplace actually has a host of different options available for you to add to your build and release tasks. In this video, we're going to focus on the build tasks, but as you can see here, we've broke this down into the build and release tasks that are available in the marketplace. And you see we have things like SonarQube, okay, and we have Git version and send mail and a few different other ones, Octopus deploy integration, package management. Some are free, some are cost, some have free trials like package management. That comes with a free trial. It'll cost you something to have it. Things like Docker integration, that's free. So it depends on what you're going to do. You may have to pay a little bit for your task. Most of the time they're free. The other nice thing about the built-in tasks is they're all open sourced on GitHub. So if you find that there's a task out there that isn't quite doing what you want, or it does half of what you need it to do and you'd like to enhance it a little bit, you have the ability to go out and get that code, do a fork of that code, and go ahead and enhance that, and you could actually do a pull request to get it back in, or just save it off to for yourself and add it to your TFS or VSTS environment. So with that, I'd like to go over into the demo environment, and I want to just walk through all these different tasks and explain some of the big ones to you that we're going to work with as we go through this part of the course. Okay, so welcome. We're in the demo environment, and I want to take a lap around the different build tasks that are available, both in the box of VSTS and TFS as well as in the marketplace. So let's go to the build and release, and let's go to our builds. And we're going to go into the CD build that we have. I'm going to choose to edit that. And you'll notice here on phase 1 run on agent, there's this plus over there on the left side. Let's click on the plus. It's going to bring up the tasks window on the right. And this is a list of all the available tasks that you have that you can take advantage of in your build process. Like I said, it broke down into categories, so you can actually see that you can add, like, for example, Docker. If you're going to work with Docker images, possibly you're working with Jenkins or Maven for your Java code. And then you have your typical Visual Studio build. You also see we have SonarQube. Some of these are deprecated, such as the SonarQube. So there's other available extensions in the marketplace that you can take advantage of. But the ones here are deprecated. Doesn't mean you can't use them, just that they're going to go away. And then you see at the bottom here we have the Xamarin and the Xcode. So if I'm building on my Mac, to run the Xcode one, you're going to have to actually have a Mac, or you're going to have to take advantage of what they have in the cloud now. Is Microsoft has the Mac in the cloud type of hosted environment. So you don't have to go and purchase a Mac just to do your Xcode builds or your Xamarin builds for iOS. You can actually go ahead and take advantage of the hosted environment that Microsoft now offers. So let's go and look at a few more of these. We're going to look at deploy. You'll notice here a lot of these are Azure focused. There's a big push to Azure, and a lot of the tasks that we're going to see in the box for VSTS and TFS are Azure focused. So you'll see here we can do a various number of Azure items, such as doing database restores, database deployments. We can run Azure PowerShell, deploy a resource group. So again, there's quite a variety of Azure topics here, when the list just goes on. Possibly I'm working with Chef though, so we could actually use Chef commands. Or maybe we're doing Kubernetes, so we may want to actually be able to update our Kubernetes cluster, and we can take advantage of this deploy to Kubernetes tasks. Docker deploy, obviously, if we're going to deploy a Docker container, we can take advantage of that, as well as just doing a simple machine file copy. If we're going to go and deploy on premises, a lot of times we can actually use a file copy. It's pretty straightforward. And then let's go to the test. And you'll notice here we have various testing options available to us. So you'll see we have a host of different tasks that are available. If you look at my particular build, for example, here on the left side, you'll see I'm doing a NuGet restore. And then I'm doing a build of the system, which is a Visual Studio build. Then I'm going to publish the symbol paths using the publish symbols task. I'm going to copy the files using the copy files task. And then lastly, I'm going to publish the build artifacts to the drop location. And I use the publish build artifacts task for that. And I can add more to it if necessary. So with that, let's go over to the marketplace now and show you some of the items there. If I go up to the top right corner here and click on the little shopping bag, I'm going to go to Browse Marketplace. This is actually going to bring up the marketplace, and you'll notice here that I have a host of extensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break these down, and let's just do build. And so this is going to show us build tasks that are available to us in the marketplace. So you can see here we have the ability to generate release notes, for example, and have some build tasks that are available. Build usage, various different items here. Microsoft Azure Build, takes advantage of to deploy to Azure or publish your applications out there. So you see we have various variety of different build tasks, and most of these are free. There is a cost with some of these, but you'll see here as we scroll through that most of them are all free. There's a free trial for Microsoft Dynamics if you're interested in that one. But for the most part, all of these build tasks are free, and there's a host of build tasks that are available. So if you're looking for a build task, take advantage of one that's out there already. Rather than having to build your own or do some kind of workaround, chances are someone's already thought about this process, and possibly you're not the first person to come up with an idea that you want to have as part of your build. So look in the marketplace first to see if you can solve your issues or fulfill your needs in the marketplace. And if not, like I stated earlier, these are open source in terms of the built-in ones, so you can take advantage of those and go to GitHub and you can fork it and build your task the way you need it to, or just again use the out-of-the-box ones as they are. That's pretty much it for the build tasks. I want to show you one more thing. I'm going to go back to my project. I've showed this before when we were talking about working with extensions, but I'm going to go to the shopping bag again. We'll go to Manage Extensions this time. And in the Manage Extensions dialog, it's going to list out all the different tasks that are available, the extensions that I've added to my VSTS environment. And you can see here, this is where I can manage all those. I can actually uninstall them, install them, disable them, enable them. So this is where I can see all the different ones that have been added to my particular project. So with that, let's go back and wrap up. In future videos, we're going to actually start using some of these tasks as part of our build process. Okay, so what did you learn in this particular video? Well, we covered the built-in build tasks at a high level and showed you various ones that are out there. Again, they're categorized, so it's a little bit easier for you to wade through the sheer number of tasks that are available built into the box, as well as the marketplace tasks. And when you saw, we filtered by build, and we were able to come up with a host of different build tasks that are available for us, both free and paid for. And you also remember that we can actually have the open source build tasks. We can take advantage of that. They're on GitHub, and we can actually go ahead and extend our build tasks as necessary, as well as make your own custom build tasks if you choose to.